I must have laid there for an eternity, trying to ignore the pain which had by then reached my lower back. For all intents and purposes, I was done resisting my approaching doom. I instead took the solace in the fact that I would be joining my family, or whatever idea of an afterlife proved correct. Before, the proposition of giving up had felt pathetic, but I had made peace with the idea. Still, the nightmare consumed me and allowed me no rest. Just as I closed my eyes for what I hoped would be the last time, I felt the gravity centrifuge grind laboriously against its own mechanism beneath me, derail, and slow to a complete system failure. Weightlessness took everything that hadn't been bolted down, tossing me into the floating void with a jarring snap that racked my entire body with the soreness of whiplash. The flashlight flew from my hand as my back slammed against the wall behind me, knocking the wind from my lungs. I watched it spiral down the length of the corridor and briefly reveal a number of cadavers still floating about. They drifted countlessly, obstructing space as they collided with one another and drifted apart like a slow scatter of billiard balls. The whirling flashlight collided with something unknown, shattered in the middle distance, and the darkness enveloped me once again. Truth be told, in those brief moments of light, I felt that I belonged among them. Injured, ill, starving, dehydrated, and exhausted. The line between life and death grayed substantially. And I felt much the way they looked. I floated in anti-gravity for a time, grateful for the weight lifted from my sore muscles and injuries, yet disoriented and nauseous. It was a strange comfort, and none too difficult to accept. More than to sate my hunger, more than to mend my wounds, I just wanted rest. Settling weariness and fading worry. Spaceless, timeless, it was alluring. Sweet oblivion, precious silence. Warm despite the cold, soothing despite the pain. Resistance felt foolish, and contentment in the end was the only rational choice left. I heard voices again, but those conjured at my will. Voices of pleasant memories, of hellos instead of goodbyes, and I love you instead of I'll miss you. The sounds of the first words of my wife ever spoke to me, of her vows at the altar, and of my baby boy's first cries in the delivery room. And then came a new voice, distinct from all the chaos of all those before it. It spoke not in English, nor in any other human tongue, but I understood it all the same. It stirred something primal in me, made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. This was no delusion. Even in my pain, I had so far questioned the reality of what I had saw. I had questioned the reality of the dark halls and the shambling human husks around me. But this was different. This was another entity entirely, something outside of my mind, and prompted by nothing within me. Whatever it was my tormentor, the thing for which I held so much contempt. It was the thing in spite of which I vowed to survive and keep my wits about me. It was the malevolent it. The other. The reason for everything. It was the answer and the escape. It was relief. And I would find it.